For those of you who don't know me, my name is Devin Desjardins. I am Director of Marketing and Storytelling for United Way of the Greater Triangle. Thank you for joining us today for Meals on Wheels Unwrapped. For those of you who have been a part of these conversations before, we started this a couple of months ago as a way to keep you guys, residents of the Triangle, in touch with the work that you're helping to fund through your donations. So today we have with us Alan Winstead, who's Executive Director of Meals on Wheels of Wake County. He's going to be here to talk to us about the organization's mission, supporting homebound seniors and adults with disabilities and providing enough healthy food for them to eat every week. You're going to see a video talking about the organization's impact in Wake County, some of whom of you might actually live in that area. And then we'll also get the opportunity at the end to ask him some questions. So if you're like me and you have the memory of a goldfish, please feel free to drop questions in the chat box throughout, and then we'll review it at the end. Alan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Great, I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
So we're going to go through, and I'll kind of go through these slides as we talk. But can you just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us more about Meals on Wheels of Wake County and what your mission is?
Great. Yeah, so I think, and I've worked a good number of years, I think the most important question that you ask every day that you go to work is, what's for lunch? Whether you're working in an office or you're working at home or you're not working, you still have to ask that question, what's for lunch? So it's a very important question. And for a lot of our friends, neighbors, family members, sometimes they don't have the same options that we have. We have the ability to go to the store, to go in some fashion to a restaurant, to cook for themselves, eat leftovers. So we have a lot of options that aren't available to our friends and family. So it's the mission of Meals on Wheels to deliver prepared meals to homebound senior adults and adults with disabilities to improve health, to reduce isolation, and to promote independence. And I think for people who are engaged in healthcare, I think we're beginning to see, in addition to talking about food security, the importance of eating right and social determinants of health. So those are sort of the worlds that we are working in: the food security field, the aging field, and the social determinants of health. We're able to provide these meals at no cost through a variety of public funding and private funding. And that does include financial support from the United Way of the Greater Triangle. So shouts out to all the good work being done by y'all, Devin. We do, in Wake County, we have a staff that has 32 part-time and full-time people. Obviously, lunch is our busy time, so we bring on some additional part-time staff. But what's more amazing in Wake County is that we have a cohort of 2,200 volunteers who really are the people who make our mission happen. So we're very excited to have them. Some people may volunteer once a year, some may volunteer once a month, some may volunteer every week, but it's those volunteers that really are critical to our success. We have more than, this year we'll serve more than 2,200 people at some point during the year. So again, some folks are at a need where they need meals delivered just 2, 3, 4 weeks, and some people need them delivered for 2, 3, 4 years. But we're delivering probably now an average of 1,400 to 1,400 people. I will say that we started in 1974 by delivering 8 meals.
Wow.
And it had taken a year of preparation to get volunteers, to get a source for the food, to get the people lined up. But in February of 1974, we delivered 8 meals. Burroughs Welcome, if there's anybody around from the time when Burroughs Welcome was here, designed our first logo. And the Hillier Memorial Christian Church in Raleigh donated the initial space. And they didn't know that we were going to stay there from 1974 until 2004.
Right.
But in 2004, we were able to move into our current building. We share a building now with the Interfaith Food Shuttle, another feeding program, and we're over by the farmers market off of Centennial Parkway and Blair Drive. So we're excited to be here, and Interfaith Food Shuttle's been good roommates for us. But from 1974 in downtown Raleigh, then we moved to Cary in 1985. And all of that was private funding, and we were able to secure some public funding that is federal money with a state and local match through the Older Americans Act. And that's a whole series of programs that provide funding for local community-based services. So that's where about half of our money is that public funding. So from Cary in 1985 to now, we have 14 satellite sites all throughout Wake County. And then we moved, as I said, in 2004 into our building with Interfaith Food Shuttle, the Food Runners Collaborative. And this year we will serve over 360,000 lunches. And
Wow.
and this will be the year that we serve our 10 millionth lunch.
Wow.
So we're excited about that. And Devin will get you to help us tell our story, if you will, when we get around to celebrating that milestone.
Absolutely.
So that's, that's what we do. So I'll tell you what makes us different. There are a lot of food security organizations and things, but the big difference for Meals on Wheels is that we are delivering prepared meals. And I will tell you this, and senior hunger, we're aware of food insecurity, hunger all throughout Wake County, throughout the Triangle, but senior hunger is a very real issue. According to Feeding America's most recent State of Senior Hunger report, and this is a list we don't want to be on, the Raleigh metro area is ranked number 8 for the highest percentage of food insecure senior adults in the country. So we know we have our work to do, that the whole community has work to do and can respond to that. But we're number 8, so we need to do a better job. Mm-hmm. The people that we take the prepared meals to are unable to pay for food because they're on a limited income, or they might be unable to shop for food because they don't have transportation, or they're unable to shop for food because of physical limitations. And then some of our people are unable to prepare food just because of the physical limitations that they have. So it's, I tell people you can't work third shift at Wake Med and then, call Meals on Wheels and want us to bring you a lunch. And people understand that. And the people who call us oftentimes should have called us way before to start receiving Meals on Wheels lunches. But we take those prepared lunches so they're ready to eat. People can just sit right down and eat their lunch. See.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
All of these facts are fascinating, from, the fact that you guys will be serving your 10 millionth lunch this year to the Raleigh area being number 8 in food insecurity for seniors. and it's obviously worth mentioning, and I don't think anybody has forgotten, but we are in the middle of a pandemic, and life
Right.
looks entirely different than it did 6 months ago, which is why we're having this conversation with you virtually, as opposed to inviting all of our friends here to come and meet you and your team in person at your headquarters. And I was wondering, how have you, we've seen the gaps widen amongst our most vulnerable populations in this area, which is why donations to nonprofits have been so important during this period, and of course outside of it. Have you guys seen the request for help increase in this time?
So that we have seen that. So we've seen, so early on we saw a very big spike, and we probably added in 8 weeks, probably added about 400 people.
Wow.
And now things are evening out, and some people who needed support in the beginning, they don't need as much support. So we continue to serve them in some capacity. And that is the thing, that we are constantly bringing people on and taking people off. People can access us through 211. We're listed there. People can get us that way. We're working with Wake County Human Services for people that they are serving and are referring people to us. We're working with the hospitals as people are being discharged from the hospitals. And then we take, of course, self-referrals, and our volunteers a very good referral base as well. So we're seeing some people, again, an early spike, and it's leveling off, and we're continuing to serve those people as much as we can, or as we're needed. Yeah. And we are doing that. But normally we do deliver a menu that we work with a dietitian that's geared towards senior adults. These meals normally are low fat, low sodium, nutrient dense, food that's good for you. And we're trying to make it taste as good as we can during that time too. But I think too, while we're taking that lunch, Meals on Wheels is more than a meal. We certainly provide nutrition. We provide it in a lot of different ways. But we also are providing some wraparound services that make us special. Since our people don't get out, they're not going to school, they're not going to work, they're staying at home. The other wraparound services that we provide are just as important. In-home safety. When our volunteer knocks on the door, it's just a daily check to see, to make certain people haven't fallen, haven't encountered any emergency issues since our last delivery. The third thing that we provide is really socialization. Again, because our people are staying at home, and I think we all who have worked remotely can appreciate that. If you are in your house all by yourself all day, and even if you're Zooming or calling, you still miss that socialization. Absolutely. So that opportunity for a volunteer to just talk and ask how your grandchildren are doing, or ask, just engage in conversation. That socialization is an important thing too. And then probably the fourth real big thing that we contribute is, some community connection. So while Meals on Wheels just delivers food, we're in a part of the community, that we're a part of United Way. We know all of programs, partnering agencies that we have relationships with Wake County Human Services, with helping people get their SNAP benefits. So we are here, and we're able to help create some community connections, help people navigate, if it's an online issue or just an information issue, we're here to help our people. And those four things: nutrition, in-home safety, socialization, community connections. It all starts with knocking on that door and giving the participant that lunch.
Mhm.
And we know this matters because we ask our people, and anybody who has any seniors in their life know that they will tell you how it is. So 97% of our people do tell us they eat better. 97% of our people feel like that they are safer being a part of the Meals on Wheels program. And everybody surveyed said that because they get Meals on Wheels, they're able to live in their home longer. And so that really impacts the quality of life for seniors, and that's very good too. But we also see, as part of our larger network, that this impacts some other things. It really impacts some healthcare outcomes improve. Meals on Wheels America, with some local North Carolina programs, did a study about the impact on healthcare costs. So hospitalization rates dropped 39% just after 1 month of a senior getting Meals on Wheels.
Oh, wow.
Emergency department rates dropped 28% just in the first month that people were on involved in a Meals on Wheels program. The same thing with nursing home. Nursing home usage dropped 28%. And so the healthcare outcomes are very good too. Our improved health outcomes, but that also means reduced costs. And for many of our people, because they're getting Medicare, that's a public expense.
Right.
So what we've tried to do is really work with that. And I'll just mention this, one, because it's a good thing, and two, because it's a United Way thing. For example, we're in a collaboration with Transitions Life Care to provide wraparound services for their palliative care patients. So once a person becomes involved with Transitions Life Care, they're providing palliative care, but then they also are able to refer those participants to us, and that's all funded with that United Way of the Greater Triangle collaboration. We're doing that too with some other funding. The Beehive Collective, we gave us a grant so that we could really specifically work with patients who were being discharged from the hospital, so that, especially for seniors who are living alone, just knowing that they're going to have some food for 2, 3, or 4 weeks, we're able to do that. We have a program with AZI Pharmaceuticals that they're working with breast cancer patients. So as people are being diagnosed and treated for breast cancer, we're able to supply meals to them. Before March, the AZI employees were they were engaged because they were coming to deliver those meals and engage with the people. Mm-hmm. We see healthcare payers working a little bit, getting into this field, so that Medicare Advantage plans, we did a pilot study with Aetna Medicare Advantage where they paid, we took meals to their people, and then we were connecting right back to the caregiver, to the care coordinator at Aetna Medicare Advantage. And so that's been very successful. We partner, obviously, we're in the same space. So Interfaith Food Shuttle, we're distributing grocery bags and fresh produce for those people that Interfaith collects, since that's their business. And then we're a distribution channel for them. So taking that meal is just the first step. We do those other safety, socialization, and community connection. So we're excited about that. Yeah. And I will say that what we do in Wake County, it's being done in every county as well. So, if you live and work in Durham or one of the surrounding counties, there is a program that's doing the same thing that we're doing there. So I will give a plug out for the people who don't live in Wake County.
This is all incredible information. You know, you touched on a handful of things that I want to reiterate for the audience here. You know, one, I personally, you know, I feel like, you know, everybody knows the name Meals on Wheels. But to get that inside look from you as to the extent of what folks are actually helping with by donating to Meals on Wheels or donating to Meals on Wheels through an organization like United Way, like it has profound effects. And so hearing that in action was incredible. The other thing I wanted to touch on that you noted too, that is a benefit of supporting organizations like yours through United Way is the ability for United Way to also fund these partnerships or to provide opportunities for organizations to partner to have a bigger impact in ways that they might not have previously. And so your example is one, you know, we have examples from the Rapid Response Fund, but hearing that in action is enlightening, and it is a good reminder that the impact of a donation goes beyond just one organization and one focus area, but it can have tentacles into every facet of society. And then the other thing I wanted to note for folks who might not be aware, 211 is a statewide United Way funded information and resources hotline. So it's funded not just by our United Way, but by every United Way in North Carolina. It's run by United Ways of North Carolina, and it's a free, confidential, 24/7 service for people in need. So they dial 211, it's that simple, and their trained call specialists answer and will connect them to critical information or resources in the areas in which they live. So it's a stopgap measure, and it's one that's been incredibly influential in connecting people to the organizations they need to go to. And it has become even more critical in times of crisis, like during the pandemic. So for anybody who does ever need help, if you ever find yourself in that situation, 211 should definitely be the first place that you go. Their website is also nc211.org. So thank you for that very much. So I also want to note for folks who might have been a part of these conversations previously that typically we have a client or a partner of the organization to join and tell their story. Obviously, you just heard that Meals on Wheels of Wake County works specifically with homebound seniors or adults with disabilities. So there is a bit of a tech barrier to overcome there. So instead of inviting a client this time, especially for safety reasons as well, we have a video to share. So Alan, if you're cool with it, I'll go ahead and play that.
Yes.
All right.
The volunteers here at Meals on Wheels are the only people that the clients will see during a day.
I really feel like it helps me just as much as it makes their day a little better.
It's my first day volunteering, and I want to learn how to do it and serve people that can't get out.
Hey, Ray.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Let's do lunch today. What do you say?
I'm ready to do it.
I'm not the brightest tool in the shed. Oh, wait, that's mixing of metaphors right there, but we need some professional help. Morgan, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
This is Ray.
Hi, Ray, nice to meet you.
We're ready to do lunch. Let's go do it.
Your route is the lilac route today.
Love the lilac route. So how many pickup sites are there?
So we've got 8 pickup locations. If there's a location that is more convenient for you.
All right, so after we get our assignment here, we need to move on. Should we go to the packing room now?
Yeah. All right.
Love packing.
Ready to go.
Okay. Time to get things rolling along. We need a real expert. Look at Al. Al, how's it going today, man?
Good morning, sir.
Al, I'm feeling warmth behind me. I guess that means something.
This is our hot box, which we take our meals out.
Nice.
And put them into the bags, which go into the
I
container.
can confirm the hot box is hot. Let's see what we got today. Let's display that proudly. So what do we got?
On our menu today, we have chili, corn, and broccoli.
Nice. And I can see why you wear those gloves, Al.
It's a little warm.
Yuck.
And basically, what we're trying to do is produce a hot, healthy, nutritional meal for the senior citizens.
There you
5
go.
days a week.
Well, can we take this one?
Sure, you can.
Oh, all right, Ray, let's hit it. What do you say? Kevin, tell me about this. What's the volume? How many meals you're making? How much is going out of here every day?
So we do about 1,900 meals a day.
1,900?
About 1,600, 1,650 are hot. The others are frozen. We package those up, send them out once a week to people who live way out in the country.
Everyone I've seen that goes out, everything looks like it's well balanced. Got your meat, your.
Yep, we do. Well, it's all approved, dietitian approved. We have a dietitian who's very mean to me about my menus. Low in sodium, high in healthy calories.
You seem to have an outstanding staff.
I have a fantastic staff.
Tell us about that.
So I have a staff that's been here for about 12 years. Four girls in the kitchen that prep, 2 utility guys. You talked to Al out there.
Right.
He's been here for 13 years.
And just one more pressing question. Is it potato or potato?
It is whatever you want to say.
Got it. Victoria's the first stop on the way. It's 3rd floor, but we'll make it. Here we go. Hope she's here. Meals on Wheels. All right. Hey, how you guys doing? You don't mind if I bring by Ray today? She's learning the ropes. Hey, Victoria, how you doing?
Hi.
What's going on? This is Ray.
Okay.
She's new to this.
Oh, all righty. Nice to meet you too.
They could have got someone good to train her, but I'm training her today.
Oh.
And she's just learning the ropes. Is this a nice service for you? Do you like having the Meals on Wheels folks come by?
Yes, I do.
What do you like about that?
Well, to me, it's like it's a help out, you know. By me having epilepsy, I was told I can't be close to a stove. That's why I was told to, you know, have Meals on Wheels come by. I just do thank the Lord, you know, for helping me out. That's like a straight up blessing.
There's just blessings all around here today, Victoria. Yes, it is.
Well, I'm mean as the devil.
You don't seem like that.
Meals on Wheels has been a big asset to me for all these years. I mean, forever since I've been retired and having to live here by myself. I want to show you something which, of course, I'm very proud of.
Okay.
So I'm going to go and show you. Wait a minute now, you're in my way.
There I go again, Dee.
Follow me now.
I get underfoot a lot. We service before, during, and after the meal as well. Oh my God, look at that.
That's mine. I carved every one of them.
You carved these?
I carved those.
Man.
And all this.
Well, that's cool. And I like these too. They're kind of a different kind of setup with these. I appreciate your World War II service too. You're serving in the war. That's a...
I was in World War II, and we took a ship. I was on the USS Lake Champlain, and that was a carrier. It was a huge carrier. Mm-hmm. And our ship was prepared to bring back the troops.
Well, you've certainly earned your hot meal, Dee, let me tell you.
Yes, you did.
I can say that for sure. Ray, pretty rewarding day for you.
It was incredible, just meeting everybody and hearing their stories and getting to know them.
To sign up to volunteer, all you do, go to wakemow.org and join Meals on Wheels.
Well, I am thrilled that worked, the video. And thank you for sharing that. That was a great example of the experience that volunteers have when they support Meals on Wheels, when they visit clients, you know, and of course, hearing some of those stories was really heartwarming. So thank you for sharing that. You know, and the video also showed us, you know, we're in a very different time than the time in which the video was filmed, where, you know, social distancing measures are considered safest, especially for those who are older, who have weakened immune systems, you know, but yet we might be in the middle of a pandemic, but that doesn't mean the needs for our, you know, our neighbors have disappeared. So I was wondering, how has your organization shifted operations during the pandemic, and how are you guys continuing to keep clients safe?
Absolutely. So, you know, health and safety is everybody's priority, but it's particularly important for the people that we are working with who really sheltered in place early and continue to do so. So I will say we have hand sanitizer branded, of course, that we've given to our volunteers, to our participants. This is a branded, if you see Meals on Wheels, Wake County mask that, but we have, the community has supported us, have given us hundreds and hundreds of cloth masks, and we have distributed those out to people in their homes when they've been because they're unable to even go out and get them, but they do have them. You know, we have changed our delivery model. Instead of delivering that prepared meal, one prepared meal 5 days a week, we've been taking a week's worth of food at one time. And so it's been a whole combination of things. We've worked with some local food trucks. We have got some special grant funding so that on the day that they're taking a box of shelf-stable food, that they also are taking a ready-to-eat meal. You see that. We've also have fruits and vegetables, apples, everything that's been in season. We've also collected from some community groups just snack bags. Again, you know, tuna, juice boxes, applesauce. Community has provided that at no charge to us, so we've done that. You know, but we're also trying to keep our participants connected, and we've had a huge response from the community. Everybody, kids, school groups, just people have made cards just to reach out, to talk, to give people something cheerful to look at and to do. And most recently, our board coordinated a big word search book giveaway so that people have something to keep their brain stimulated and to work with that. So we gave out those big book like that to all of our participants last week. So it's been, again, we want to be safe. We want to be mindful that we are operating in under different circumstances, but the community has continued to respond. Our volunteers continue to come. You see, we adopted that. Instead of, as in the video, you come in, you talk to everybody. The volunteers are staying in their cars. We're loading all of the food right into the trunks of the cars, and then they're going, wearing their mask, hand sanitizer, gloves, and going to people's homes. And so what we've noticed, I mean, we knew going in that would be less contact during the delivery process, but we also have more staff time, and our staff's working remotely most of the time. So we're making more frequent calls to just connect with people, just to give them somebody to talk to, check on them, see if they need anything, see if there's anything that we can do. It's been just like everybody else. It's been new, it's been different. There have been some challenges, but overall it's been very successful. But we're ready to go back to how we operated before the pandemic.
Right. Well, that's great to hear that you guys were able to pivot so quickly so that the clients that do rely on you guys for everything that you've previously described, from food to comfort to socialization, don't have to worry about where that's coming from. You know, I'm continually surprised when talking to our funded partners, either our year-round funded partners or those that we funded through the Rapid Response Fund, about how quickly y'all were able to pivot and how diligently your team were working. You know, we're in unprecedented times, and yet you guys are still making it work. And I really, you know, tip my hat to that if I were wearing one.
So, right. So the food truck you see in the picture in the PowerPoint, you know, right. And so we were able to use that, you know, it's not our regular meal, but it is a good, nutritious lunch. And so we were able to use the money from the United Way Rapid Response Fund to support some of those things, all of those things that were outside of the box, so that we could continue our mission.
That's great to hear. And for those of you who do not live in Wake County or who live in Durham, for example, Rapid Response Fund did give a grant to Meals on Wheels of Durham as well. So if you guys are interested in seeing which funded partners have received funds from United Way, either through our 3 pillars or through our specialized funds, feel free to go to our website, which is unitedwaytriangle.org, and you can see all of those there. So one thing that, Alan, that we've been talking about during campaign season, which is, you know, our corporate campaigns where employees give a portion out of their paycheck, weekly, biweekly, monthly, to support United Way's mission, is United Way's role and nonprofits' role in helping the Triangle recover and stabilize following the pandemic. And so, you know, we're already seeing the gaps that have widened as a result of the pandemic, and it's not close to over. So we know this is going to continue to happen, and it's incredibly important that, you know, as residents, we continue supporting the nonprofits that are on the ground, helping people in their times of need. And so I wanted to know, you know, in your vision, what is Meals on Wheels' role in that stabilization and recovery process?
Right. You know, so again, particularly for senior adults, you know, I mean, I think that the two fields that we can contribute the most is to food security. Again, you know, Feeding America has identified us as one of the having the highest percentage of food insecure seniors. So, you know, again, we're trying to reach out to the larger community, and in Raleigh and Wake County, we work with the Capital Area Food Network, you know, again, to bring issues about senior hunger and how we can muster community resources for that, you know, how our people can benefit, what we can do. You know, and again, we certainly are big advocates for the people we work with. You know, we certainly are reaching out, connecting them with SNAP benefits, and SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Program. For old people, it used to be called food stamps. You know, but even here during the pandemic, seniors who sign up for that and live in Wake County, they can access $40 more with SNAP benefits to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's a good thing. For food security, you know, we again want to be a part of the conversation on transportation. Transportation for senior adults is different than, you know, having an apartment, then a bus stop being 3 blocks away, because some of our people even have issues navigating that. So access to food involves transportation. So we do want to be a part of that discussion, that dialogue, and even looking at too where our participants live and how they can access. Is there a food desert? Certainly, if you've got to ride a bus and go 5, 6, 7, 8 miles to get someplace, you know, that's not nearly as convenient if you could go, you know, 1 block and get food. So we do want to be engaged in this whole food security discussion, but we also want to do more work around, you know, social determinants of health. I think the work we are doing with Transitions Life Care is a good example of that, where another organization can provide health care or those sorts of things, and we can support that with food. So we want to build some of those relationships. Because I think, and I work every day to prove this, you know, that the result is lower healthcare costs. People live in the community longer. They're not having to choose between moving in with relatives or moving to a nursing home. That's either avoided or it's delayed, and that's a good thing. So it really improves the quality of life for seniors. And I'll just say, you saw just two of our participants. I will just add, you know, 1 out of 5 of our participants, 1 out of 5 of our participants is over the age of 85 and living at home in the community.
Wow.
15 of them are over the age of 100. So again, you know, we don't guarantee that longevity for all of our participants, but it certainly is a good thing. So that's what we're doing. You know, again, food security, social determinants of health, quality of life for seniors are the 3 things that we'll be engaged with. So we do, I know we've been engaged with the United Way through these sorts of things, and seniors is the fastest growing segment of our population, where we'll have more senior adults in the next few years, even than school age kids. So.
Wow. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that you can't guarantee longevity of life. That was my goal later on. All you guys and I'll live forever, right?
Right.
So one last question before we get to Q&A. So just a friendly reminder, if anybody does have questions for Alan or for me about United Way, feel free to go ahead and drop them in the chat box as you think of them, and we can ask them at the end. But the last question for you, Alan, you know, typically during a normal campaign season or a normal year, you know, United Way donors love to get hands-on. They love to meet the teams. They love to help. They love to volunteer, and volunteering looks very different right now than it would have you know, 6-9 months ago. So I wanted to find out, you know, how can volunteers best support your organization right now, and what does a volunteering opportunity look like for Meals on Wheels specifically?
Right. So, you know, and I will tell you, anytime, but particularly now, you know, folks can just be good neighbors in the community, and you don't have to go to a website. You don't have to do, you know, fill out an application or make a commitment, you know, but I just encourage people to check on people in their networks right now. Their older neighbors, older family members, older friends. You know, you may have some older co-workers or former co-workers. You know, just reach out to them, just check with them. If talking is probably a good thing, but you may find out some other needs. So people can do that now. You know, the same thing during bad weather. I hope rain is all we get. We're not getting one of those 11 hurricanes that we've had. You know, or in the winter, ice storms are coming, you know, or extreme temperatures when it's very cold or very hot. So that's something everybody can do. You know, for our volunteers, normally folks will spend an hour, sometime between 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock. They'll spend about an hour going and delivering food to people. And that may be any place from seeing 6 people. If you're volunteering out in the Morrisville area where the participants live farther apart, or it may be 14 people if you live and or work downtown Raleigh, and we send you to Glenwood Towers, which is a Raleigh housing authority. There you're going once, you're parking, and you're riding up and down an elevator. We may pack the big bag with 12 or 13 meals, so you'll get to see twice as many people. But again, it'll take about 1 hour. And I'll just say that volunteer, you know, we talked about funding and all of that, but volunteers really provide a service. So we calculate, you know, the volunteers drive in a normal year, you know, more than 275,000 miles just in Wake County delivering those meals. Volunteers, because we have so many and use so many volunteers, you know, they're giving in a surplus of 35,000 hours a year of volunteer time. You know, and so that the miles they drive, the time they give, if we had to pay for that, that's over $1 million worth of in-kind donations. So that's how critical volunteers are to our program. The other thing that people can do is really, you know, now during the pandemic or just regularly, you know, help connect us with people out in the community. People can go onto our website and just fill out the application right there, and we can get people involved in our program, or people can call, you know, call our office during the regular hours, and we can talk to people over the telephone. So, but, and we do get our volunteers from, you know, individuals volunteer, companies volunteer as a part of, you know, just like at United Way that you do in a regular campaign. You know, you have big group projects. We can accommodate that if people want to do a team building program. Civic organizations, you know, come and volunteer. Faith communities volunteer. You know, we work with homeschool groups. We partner with some other community groups. the ARC, they bring some of their people and volunteer with us. So volunteers can volunteer once, once a year, once a month, once a week. We normally can accommodate that. At the present, all of our volunteer opportunities to deliver are on Tuesdays in the morning. But the other things that people have done outside the community, I mentioned we've had companies make us just those cards, just writing a little note, cheerful note in them. We've had companies do that. You can do that now or during Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, just one of those times where we want to take a moment and remember people. Breakfast bags, we saw one company did a food drive, can do a food drive and assemble breakfast bags for us. So again, we have more food to give out to people. Whether you come to deliver meals or those other things, or if you just reach out and check on older neighbors, I hope that everybody can find something to do.
Yeah, that was a very comprehensive list, and I appreciate you going through all of those. For the opportunities you talked about, or the volunteering ideas you talked about that are specific to Meals on Wheels, they just go to wakemow.org?
Yes.
Okay, great, perfect.
Both to volunteer or to refer people.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. So we are at the Q&A portion for anybody who might have some burning questions or want to know more. I know this was a really comprehensive conversation. I certainly learned a lot. I hope you guys did too. So we'll stick around for a few minutes if you guys do have questions. If not, we certainly won't force you.
Because it is lunchtime, and I think everybody now knows how important lunch is. So thanks for the opportunity for me to come and talk to people about seniors and about eating.
Well, we're honored to support you guys, and I appreciate the time out of your busy day, especially knowing how much you guys do on a daily basis. It means a lot. And I'm assuming that the folks, since everybody else does have their cameras turned off, I'm hoping they're all eating, so hopefully we can. All right, well, it does not look like anybody has questions. So on that, I will bid everybody farewell. I hope everybody has a safe, relaxing weekend. Same, that goes to you as well, Alan. And thank you so much again.
Well, great. Thanks for all the support from the United Way. And I know it's the community that supports the United Way too. So we appreciate that.
It absolutely is. We wouldn't be here without support from the community. So thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.